everything.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, dude?
hey, thanks for taking the time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
We actually have, I don't know if they're still here, but we had one or two people from the Busan meetup from Free Code Camp who was wanted
Oh,
to
for real? Oh,
uh,
man, I miss those guys.
yes. They're over here asking when you're going to be here. They wanted to say hello, but
What's up, guys? Are they still there? They're probably sleeping. I think it's like 3 a.m. or something crazy
yeah,
over there right now.
yeah, they were saying it was like 1 a.m. I was like, hey, good for you for powering through, but we'll have
Oh,
this.
man.
We'll have this here. You got a lot of fans, man. There's that they got the free code camp community is all about you, man.
I got very few fans, but they go like 100%. I mean, they're super supportive. I love them, and yeah. But thanks for having me,
Nice.
dude.
Yeah. Well, so last time, to catch everybody up, last time we did an interview, and you were just about to head into Austin, or you had just arrived, and it was like your first week, and we had talked about how you were teaching English in Korea, and so I wanted to kind of reach out to see, now that you've been working as a developer for about 6-7 months, kind of the same length of time as me, is what you've kind of learned along this sort of journey, if you will.
Oh boy, I mean, I've learned so much I don't even know like where to start, or even like how to classify it yet. But what I learned is, I guess the biggest takeaway is, one, it gets better and it gets like more and more fun the more and more you learn. So don't give up yet, and don't feel like, oh, once I learn this thing, then it'll be all good and I'll be set for life. No, always have that appetite and keep hacking away and keep building projects. But it does get easier. It does get more fun. The challenges get bigger, and yeah, this is kind of like a life sentence, I think.
I don't necessarily like the term life sentence, but it is.
Yeah, well, that implies prison. Yeah, it's not prison, but it is like. Yeah.
I get your point. To be a good developer, you have to understand that while you're a developer, you're going to constantly be evolving, and you need to put that effort and energy into it.
Yeah, so you got to put the effort, put the energy into it. Have a life as well. Do other things that aren't coding related, but always stay hungry and foolish. As that's like a common adage that we say nowadays. But yeah, hungry and foolish works. It's been working for me. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I had someone ask earlier. They're wondering, you haven't been too active on YouTube lately. Is that going to change? Are you going to start uploading things?
Yeah, because right now I'm doing the one-on-one tutoring, and with work and doing all of those lessons, that does eat up a lot of my time, and really I love offering the one-on-one lessons. I might start scaling back and doing more videos and like actual more projects and coding in the future. But to the viewer who asked that question, yeah, I really want to make more videos, more on a more regular schedule. Now, I was like away for a few months right there.
Yeah, and if you guys, I mean, I've hired you to tutor me, and you did an excellent, such a good job. I made a video about it.
Thank you.
If anyone's interested in getting some tutoring through Steven, and covers a variety of front end, back end, all the technologies are listed there. You can at thebestjs.com. So make sure that if you guys, because I encourage people to get tutoring and mentoring as much as they can. Granted, it's costs money, but sometimes 1 hour of a tutor's time is worth about 10 hours on your own.
So I don't want to become a boot camp or anything like that. I don't want to make these like wild claims. But you're right. It's if you're beginning and you see a problem that you haven't ever seen before, and the documentation isn't making sense, it's like you're like Michael Bolton in Office Space. You're like one decimal away for getting your like application to work, but you spin your wheels for hours and hours. And I'm the guy who like just moves your decimal place over in the right place, so that you can spend more time building your projects and less time, just spinning wheels on these like little tiny bugs that you missed. Anyway, that's kind of like what I like to do, help people just like rocket.
Now,
like a rocket. Mm-hmm.
Now, you're at a new company than the one you went for. How did you originally come across this job? Because people are always asking like about recruiters. Do they reach out to you? Was it a recruiter, or how did that sort of job search go?
Yes. So for the new company I'm working at, they have a couple of internal recruiters that work full time only for my company, and I was contacted through LinkedIn. So once again, LinkedIn has scored me yet another developer job. I didn't apply. I didn't send my resume or anything like that. Somebody contacted me. We had an initial phone call. I was given a coding challenge and subsequently a tech interview with a follow-up offer I think it was the same day actually as the tech interview. So it just worked out really quickly.
Now, was this I don't know if you're uncomfortable talking, was this a step up in pay, or how did that work out for you?
Yeah, it was a step up in pay for sure, and also benefits as well. For our viewers who were not residents or haven't been in the United States for a very long time, unfortunately, your health care is not a guarantee, and it's very hard to find employers who can offer you, very good health insurance and benefits. And if you get sick or injured, it's really expensive without it. So that was kind of the impetus that to make me change jobs so soon. I wanted to go for a bigger company who offered that. So yeah, definitely it was a step up, and I just feel like if I get hit by a bus, it's okay. I know I'm going to be all right, and I don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. I might lose my arm and a leg if I get hit by a bus. That's another matter, however.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad that worked out for you. And it's something I've kind of, I don't want to say I've preached about it, but I want people to kind of know that you really should know your market value at the end of the day as a developer. And because I have recruiters calling me, and I'm sure as they call you all the time, promising crazy amounts of money and things like that. And but it's good to know how valuable you are. And there's nothing wrong with jumping to another company if your current company isn't paying you the market value.
Look, I mean, gone are the days where, our fathers or grandfathers, mothers and grandmothers too, have been employees of these big companies for their entire working lives, 20, 25, even sometimes 30 years. But that loyalty, that such long-term loyalty to a company just doesn't exist anymore. And I think it's because not all companies are loyal to us. So absolutely, if you can find something better with a higher payout or better benefits or whatever, you don't owe any loyalty to that company with the lower offer. So go to the good stuff. Treat yourself, look after yourself and your family first, and those feelings and that guilt or whatever from helping out a company, forget about it.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it feels almost counterintuitive at first, because I consider us to be both kind of good guys, and you're like, hey, you're my employer, and you've given me this opportunity, and I want to be loyal to a fault. To a degree. And so I think Engineer Truth explained it best to me. And I asked him, what is company loyalty worth? And he said it's about $10,000. If anything over $10,000 in terms of benefits and pay, you need to start considering.
Yep, absolutely. And look, while I'm employed for any particular company or while on the team for a particular project, I'm going to be loyal in that I'm going to do my damnedest best work and try to move tickets and do it as professionally as possible. But I got bills. I like to go on long vacations, and I want a certain quality of life for myself and my family. And so yeah, I mean, beyond just the expectation that I do work and you pay me, I mean, that's the only loyalty that I owe you, the promise to do good work. But if somebody wants to offer me more stuff so I can have even more vacations, a nicer quality of living, yeah, I'm gonna go see them. But yeah, that's my take on it.
So how is it now that you've lived in Austin for a while? How do you like it? Like, how is the software scene there?
Man, the software scene is really cool. There's just so many companies here, like everything from startups to really big enterprises, and everything in between. Right now, I'm in a medium-sized company, I guess. So I don't know the exact numbers, but probably between 50 to 100 people, possibly, like considering like technical and non-technical positions. And we're contracted out. So I mainly work downtown Austin for like an even bigger company. So it's kind of cool to have two sets of like coworkers and like offices like that. But yeah, Austin is really cool. I think if you're on the leading tech, and especially if you're a React developer, you can get like offers just like that. Case in point, I went to a React meetup. I did a short little talk, like 15 minutes. And I got like 2 job offers from people I've never even met or heard of before. So it's definitely like, I wouldn't say, shooting fish in a barrel. You still have to hustle and, present yourself, really well. But for people who are like that and who are ambitious, you can find, a lot of jobs, a lot of good jobs here in Austin. My only gripe about the city is the traffic, man. There's too many people and too many cars on the road. That's my only complaint about Austin. But man, those tacos and barbecue sandwiches, dude, are pretty tasty. So I'll be here for at least a year or 2, I think. Maybe longer. I don't know.
Austin was one of the cities I was applying to, that I was trying
really?
to get a role in. Yeah, so it's on the radar. Austin and Portland, because I got family in Portland. So
Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine?
Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. So. Oh,
okay, yeah. I've lived I've been in Maine for a few months. It gets pretty cold up there. I think Oregon would be a better choice.
Yeah, my brother went to the as I call it, the dirty hippie motherland of Portland, Oregon. So he's up there with his bandana and tie dyes on and whatnot. He's actually traveling in Asia right now, but he'll go back to the hippie mecca eventually. But I
mean, that's something I would like to do eventually. I want to become an expat again and be one of these digital nomads and spend like 3 or 4 months in one country in Asia, then go to the next one. I think that would be pretty cool. Traveling like that for a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot, because I get spammed with all these sort of remote traveling digital nomad lifestyles. So like I look at them all the time and they look really interesting, where it's like, one's called Remote Year, where it's something like $22,000, but every year every month you're in a different country, and that covers your housing and food. And so if you're a remote developer and you want to spend, $20,000, $24,000, if you're making 100, isn't that much. So you get to kind of see the world for a year, 12 different European countries. And there's a lot of them popping up, but it's very attractive. Did you happen to read the Stack Overflow 2017 survey by chance?
No, not yet. I've been getting the emails from Quincy and like his take on the results, but I haven't read any of the data or analysis yet.
So one thing that really stuck out is that one of the number one things that individuals are looking for in terms of jobs, it was like 55 or 65% is remote, which I thought was pretty high, but I can see why. Like,
yeah, dude, I spend like probably 3 hours every working day just in traffic because I have to drop my wife off at work and then go to my office and then pick her up sometimes if she doesn't take the train home. And yeah, like that like 3 hours is like, dang, it's like you're driving. Like Austin doesn't have like buses, or they have buses, but they don't have like trains like they do in other bigger cities. So I'm kind of like losing 3 hours a day. I would consider like a remote job if it meant I could like stay at home, do my job, and then that's like 3 hours that I get back and I could do like, you know, whatever I want, like making YouTube videos or something like that. So, I mean, that's not surprising. I would say like 65% is about right, maybe slightly than my expectations.
Now, is it property reasons you live so far away from work with traffic, or like what's the logistics of Austin that you're not?
No, dude, I don't even live that far away. My apartment is like 3 miles from downtown, and like maybe my wife's job is like about 10 miles. So not a very long drive, but it's just too many cars on the highways, and like all the streets during rush hours are just like clogged to the max.
Oh.
So Austin is great. There's a lot of opportunity here, but I want to tell people like that Austin sucks and don't come here anymore because there's just too many cars on the road, and not they don't have like the public transportation infrastructure to handle all of that. There's a little bit, but just not much.
Oh wow! So that sounds even worse than LA. So. Yeah,
I've never driven in LA traffic, but yeah, it's just like gridlock, and it's not too fun at all.
All right, so now that you've been working for a while, what was the one thing that you didn't really expect? Like, you've been studying all this web development and the back end, front end technologies, and what was kind of one thing that caught you off guard once now that you've been a developer that you wasn't necessarily on your radar?
Yeah, like one thing that a lot of people, even though they knew, I was a junior, like a developer, and I had like lots to learn, a lot of people assumed that I was like really like knowledgeable and comfortable with like Linux, commands, like for the terminal and the shell. And Linux, I mean, I guess I should say Unix, because they work all the same on a Linux machine or a Mac. And I knew a little bit, but I wish I had like ramped up and gone beyond just like the very basics of Linux terminal commands. I wish I was also more familiar with SQL. Because I'm more of a MongoDB guy, and that was sort of my focus as I was teaching myself, is just like the mean stack or the MERN stack. And I got a little bit of SQL, but I wish I was just much better at it. And then finally, I wish I had been a bit more knowledgeable of AWS, because at my job we use AWS, and I have to be around for deployments just in case the DevOps needs some support. But it looks like a scary room full of tangled wires to me right now. I wish I understood AWS a bit better, so in case something really hit the fan, I could be very I could be more useful and act more quickly. But other than that, yeah, everything that I prepared for and studied has helped me with my jobs. There's a certain areas that I could be better at, but everyone has those areas that they suck at, and they wish they could be better in. So don't worry. It doesn't matter like how much you study and how much you prepare. Just go into your first job, and yeah, you're gonna suck, but just work hard every day, and you'll suck less with each coming day.
Yeah, show up and be like, look, day one, I'm going to suck, but I'm going to work hard to make sure I don't suck as much as I sucked the day before. Exactly.
It just be comfortable feeling like an idiot and foolish. It's just like, everyone was at that stage before. Most people will be cool. Most engineers will like get it and like help you out. you'll run into a few like jerks who like expect you to know like everything they know, but that hasn't been the case really.
Nice. Now, how important is testing at your work? Is that something that you guys do quite often?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we run all sorts of tests. The tests that I touch mainly are the tests for the linter to make sure that we're following specific like formatting guidelines and things like that. The linter also helps me like identify any reference type of errors. So like if I use the variable that I have it defined, it'll print it out nice and neatly, the line number and things like that. So we can't even deploy if we have any of those linter errors. So it's quite strict for us. There's a test for our deployment chew and which I don't really touch too much. That's more of like a DevOps thing. But yeah, we do test often, and even though that does take up time, testing, I feel like it saves like you from losing time trying to figure out bugs in the future. So yeah, definitely worth the investment.
Nice. All right, guys, if you have any questions that you would like Stephen to answer, go ahead and start typing them out in chat as well.
Or maybe it's right here. I don't know.
It's somewhere, wherever. Yeah.
Type in the box.
Was there anything that you wanted us to cover? I'm going to take this down, and there's going to be some good questions. There's going to be some bad questions. So some of these are going to get omitted. But anything that was in that kind of last 6 months that really you would like to discuss?
Yeah, I mean, man, it's been kind of a blur. It's just starting to slow down a little bit. No, I guess not related to the job, but I'm kind of thinking of ideas for my next video series. The last video series that I did on YouTube, you can check it out. But it was those Node School command line tutorials, and I was wondering if I should do more of those, or if I should do another free code camp project, like another React one. So yeah, if there's any viewers out there listening to this right now, if you want me to create some videos, like what topic, give me your suggestions or your ideas, and we could talk about that.
Yeah, and if you ever want a guest developer on there, I'd be happy to jump in and see if I can contribute.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I'd love to have me and Dylan. I know you're working on that MongoDB URL shortener right now.
I've been working on it all yesterday. I probably for about 6 hours, and I had a bug that kept me going, but I finally solved it. I'm not.
Was it an index bug, like a duplicate key error?
So for some reason, when I was using const and a deconstructor to store the parameter, the response parameter, or the request parameter, it was adding. It basically, I was supposed to get a string, which was the original URL, and for whatever reason, when I changed that from a var to the const and deconstructed way, is in the const version, it was actually adding a fave icon in there, and so it was storing it as an object. It's a weird error. I don't know enough about it. Yeah, it was kind of a strange thing.
So you were using Express, and you had I'll just write it in the chat right here. So you had something like a const name,
exactly.
And like oh, nobody could see me. Yeah, like something like this, right?
Yes, exactly like that. So
okay, yeah, that's really strange.
Yeah, and so what was happening is I had this regular expression that was supposed to go and check that string and see if it matched the regex, right?
What version of Node? Sorry to interrupt. What version of Node were you using?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh man, you gotta run Node-V in your terminal because it may not be supporting like the const keyword. Perhaps I don't know. That's just like one idea.
It was strange though, and so that held me up for about 6 hours, and I finally just reverted to like ES5 standards. So I think it had something to do with the ES6. All right, so we got some good questions here from people in chat. They want to know what stack you're working in at work currently.
Sweet. So I do front-end development, and the stack that we use React and Redux, Webpack for the build. Let's see what else. So we use a number of different like middleware for React and Redux, like a Redux Responsive, React Router, React Redux Router. We use Redux Thunk. And I don't touch the database very much, but the different projects have different databases. Yeah, so that's the stack. At my last job, my stack was a bit more eclectic. It was still mostly mean and MERN stack stuff, but I had to do a little bit of Ruby on Rails and also React Native, which is awesome, by the way. I love React Native.
Yeah, I'm excited for the React and React Native courses or Redux courses on Free Code Camp, but React Native I've been seeing. What's unique about React Native? Because I'm not a React developer, so I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah, so React and React Native, they share the same principles of like rendering views. I mean, after all, React is just a view library, so its API is quite small when compared with a behemoth such as Angular JS or Angular 2. But React and React Native, they share the same principles of like rendering components and you know, passing state and props between components and stuff like that. And if you know one, you can pick up the other one quite easily. And compared with like other like mobile JavaScript development systems, you have like Ionic in Angular, which is basically a web view. It's not like a true native app. It runs on mobile devices, but it's just like a web page or web application that has been ported over to mobile devices. Whereas React Native, it actually gets compiled down into the Java for Android and for the Objective-C for you know, iOS devices, and you can use like you know, React Native APIs as well as like native device, like native iOS and Android APIs in your projects, and it's like a real native app, but not just like a hybrid or a WebView sort of app. And it's like really fast and snappy, quite cool stuff. I love it.
So if I understand correctly, React Native essentially is a way of writing a React project that will actually compile into a Android app or an iOS app, or to work with that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
That is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah. I mean, so that opens up like a lot of possibilities. So if you're like a remote developer, for example, and you have a client who wants like a particular web application, it would be quite and if you develop that web application in React, it would be not too much effort to port the web app over to React Native, because in React, your components are reusable, and they're a little different between the two, but it's easy to port over. So as a remote developer, if I was doing that, I would like upsell the client and say, hey, you know, I could throw in an iOS or an Android app for you for just an extra cost, and I think you can make some buku bucks if you modeled your freelancing business that way. Throwing in mobile apps, and it wouldn't require that much effort to port over like a simple CRUD application to your to React Native.
Nice. Any final thoughts for your fans, or where can people follow you, all that good stuff?
Okay, yeah, final thoughts. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys, and thank you for all the support and nice comments that you leave me on my videos and YouTube channel. Just to let's see, how should I do this? Should I share my screen with you? I can share my screen and, and go over through the through everything like that. Okay, so if you're interested in my tutoring services, you can find more information at thebest.js. It kind of goes over the pricing, which is always subject to change, and all of the features of my services. So if you need one-on-one help, consider me to be your personal tech tutor. If you like to do the Twitter thing, you can follow me at ESL Hip Hop, and I like to share links on there occasionally. This used to be my old Twitter for when I was an English teacher, but I still use it for when I'm a developer. So there it is. And then, finally, probably most important is my YouTube channel. I think I am user Mr. Steve Mayeux. Let's see, what is that? User Mr. Steve Mayeux. And you'll see a lot of my videos. Here they are. I have many playlists for the free CodeCamp challenges and projects. So best place to go is the playlist. You can watch everything in order, or you can watch them in any order that you want to. So there it is. There's all my work for you to enjoy.
You got the beta stuff up already for the React challenges?
This is not, no, for the React challenges, not yet. I haven't looked at the, actually haven't looked at those beta React content yet. So I'm guessing that's what they're gonna release really soon. They're putting a lot of effort into that. So I guess I should start hopping on the train.
I don't think it's coming soon. No. I think we got a couple months to go still. So.
Okay. What's do you know anything about that? About the holdback? I know a lot of people are like looking forward to this.
Yeah. I'm one of those people as well. So I interviewed Quincy not too long ago, and Quincy is now a politician. So he gives you he diverts the question. It'll be ready when it's ready. Like that's it. Yeah. But if just going through the stuff, like the React challenges aren't even actually up on free CodeCamp yet. They're still technically in alpha. But they have a lot of great stuff on there that's near complete. The regex section, they have what I really like is the front end library. So they're covering Bootstrap, they're covering React and Redux and React and Redux as well, and they're covering CSS Flexbox. So there's a whole bunch of cool things on there.
Sweet.
Yeah, they also have a security certification on there as well, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be, which is great because QA and like testing and stuff like that, it doesn't really get any love.
Really comprehensive.
Yeah. So there's actually 6 sections now, if I remember correctly. So it's going from around there, but yeah. So there's not like a hard set time. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably 3 months out. If I had to guess, but I don't have like any insider knowledge. It's just a guess.
Hey, well, they got my support, and I'll keep making videos for free CodeCamp. So Quincy or volunteers, man, just let me know, guys. I'll try my best, and I'll throw something up on my YouTube channel for you.
I will. Thank you again for taking the time, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I hope you have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, guys, so that was our interview with Steven. I always like talking with Steven. He helped me out a lot with tutoring and MongoDB, Express, Mongoose, and not React Node. Probably when I start studying React and React Native, eventually I'll reach out to him too. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. As always, don't forget to go to our Facebook page and join our Facebook group, Code Tech and Caffeine. The link is in the description. And if you like me, you like these interviews, and you want to support the channel, you can at patreon.com/codingtutorials360. I really enjoyed this interview. Mainly because it's nice to see someone who seems a very honest guy, hardworking guy. And a year ago, or 6 months ago, he was teaching English in Korea, and he spent a year doing that. And in that year, he taught himself to be a full-stack developer. With no prior technical knowledge. His degree is in English, and now he's working in a very tech-oriented city, Austin, and turning his life, making more money than he's ever made before, and job offers left and right. It's very good to see when someone takes these things seriously and how coding can affect their lives for the positive, and I hope that it'll affect your life for the positive. On that note, I'll leave you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in coding bootcamp, check out devmountain.com, where housing is included in your price of tuition. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.